From Cassell Coliseum in Blacksburg, Virginia, it's a basketball rivalry that dates back to 1915. Tonight, number 8 Virginia looks to win its 8th straight, while number 20 Virginia Tech tries to improve to 7-2 in the ACC. It's the Commonwealth Clash on 3304 Sports. Thanks so much for joining us alongside my broadcast partner, Andy Loce. I'm Evan Hughes. Andy, it's always fun when these rivals collide. It's even more fun when they collide when both are playing great basketball like they are entering this evening.
There's only been 4 times, Evan, where Virginia and Virginia Tech have faced off in men's basketball when both teams have been ranked. This is one of the fastest growing college basketball rivalries in the sport due to the 3 matchups in 3 years have had ranked teams. We're getting our 4th one here today. And you mentioned, Evan, these are 2 hot teams. The ACC is debatably the most competitive conference in all of college basketball, and these 2 sit in the top 3. We got a great game on store at hand today at Cassell Coliseum.
Virginia got off to a little bit of a slow start to begin their season, a 61-60 loss to San Francisco. They've had 5 games canceled or postponed due to COVID-19, but Virginia is one of the hottest teams in the entire country right now. They have won 7 games in a row. Their last loss was against number 1 Gonzaga on December 26th. Andy, what has been the difference for UVA over the last couple of weeks?
Well, a lot of people are saying that they want to get 2020 behind them and go into 2021, and that's exactly what the Virginia Cavaliers have done. 7 straight wins, perfect record in the ACC, and that comes from Sam Hauser and Jay Huff and what they've been able to do so far for the Virginia Cavaliers. You look at what they're able to do in that front court. Hauser averaging 15 points per game, Huff averaging 13.8. He's coming off a career best performance, 21 points, and including tying his career high with 12 rebounds against the Syracuse Orange. That was a one-sided affair up in Charlottesville, and they're coming down with that momentum, and continually they've been able to get games going. You mentioned how they've had a little bit of struggle at the beginning portion of the season getting matchups going. Now they're playing twice a week sometimes, and they're getting more comfortable with the court, getting into great rhythm, and that's leading them to being probably one of the biggest matchups they've had in the ACC this season.
The front court of UVA, you mentioned it, Andy, truly is one of the highlights of this team. Both Jay Huff and Sam Hauser, they're both redshirt seniors. Let's start with Jay Huff here. You mentioned that he had that career game against Syracuse, 7 3-pointers. Even in modern college basketball, you don't see those kinds of numbers every day. But he's somebody who gets it done offensively as well as defensively. He's 10 blocks away from moving into 4th all-time at UVA in career blocks. He stands at 7'1". He is a big presence in the paint for UVA on the defensive end for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, Cavaliers and defense, 2 things that have worked well for them for nearly a decade up in Charlottesville, and this season is no different. You could say that maybe they're taking a little step back on the scoring defense, only 8th in the country. Still one of the best when you talk about how many teams are within Division I. But I like how you mentioned the offense, because that's where the success is coming for Virginia this year. 73.4 points per game amongst the team. They haven't had numbers like that since the 2007-2008 season. That's before the Tony Bennett era. They were averaging 76.8 points a game. So this is a team that can run up the score, and if they're able to play defense well, they can really make themselves in a perfect position to run away with some of these matchups. So for Virginia Tech, that definitely translates to what they can do on the offensive side, as well as stopping what Virginia can do on the offense.
Jay Huff, so good inside for UVA. Alongside him in the front court is Sam Hauser, the redshirt senior from Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Andy, he's been in double figures every game this season, sat out last season after transferring in from Marquette, and what an addition he's been to this UVA team.
You mentioned it in the pregame show as well there, Evan, on our Twitter page. 7 3-pointers. That's going to tie his career high. He had to sit out that 2019-2020 season. He's been eligible to play, and he's been a walking bucket pretty much for these Virginia Cavaliers, 15 points per game. He's also averaging 33.4 minutes a game. That leads the team. So not only is he a scoring machine for the Virginia Cavaliers, but he's also a very reliable piece to their offense. And when you have a forward like that who can score offensively, but also translates to the defensive side as well, it could be a problem for many opponents. And Sam Hauser up there in Marquette, we talked about when they were going to transfer the brothers. When Sam Hauser came, that was going to be a huge addition to Tony Bennett, he is taking over as pretty much the star of this Cavaliers team.
And the one who finds them inside, one of the best guards in all of the ACC, Kihei Clark, the junior from Woodland Hills, California. He was a part of that national title run 2 years ago, and he really makes everything go on the offensive end for the Cavaliers.
Well, you take about 11 months ago here in Cassell Coliseum, of course, a full crowd. He hits that big-time three-pointer near the end of regulation to give them a 56-53 victory. So Virginia Tech and Mike Young know what Kihei Clark can do, but you're right. He's kind of this veteran guy now. He was the young guy when they won the national championship, but now he's becoming the man that really knows the offense, who knows the system really well, and he's doing a great job at being a point guard. He was the All-ACC preseason second team coming into this year, and he's looking like he can be one of the best guards and maybe first team guy when the season's all said and done. Virginia had their struggles early, but they're hitting their stride. You got Clark, Hauser, and Huff. And these three gentlemen are doing an excellent job at helping Tony Bennett's squad really move up in the rankings and really make them a serious national championship contender.
Meanwhile, for Virginia Tech, the Hokies have been the surprise of the ACC. They were a preseason pick to finish 11th out of 15 teams in the conference. Mike Young in his second year. Hokies are 12-3 under Coach Young, 6-2 in league play, but they lost one of their most important pieces last week, suspended indefinitely from the team, Tyrese Radford. How have the Hokies found other ways to get contributors with Radford being unavailable?
Well, it was the front court that showed up for Virginia Tech against Notre Dame on Wednesday. You had a double-double performance from Keve Aluma and Justin Mutz. So the offense may not be coming from the backcourt after all, it might be coming from the front court. But a player to notice as well was Hunter Couture. He had 13 points against Notre Dame. A player who usually backs up Tyrese Radford had a big-time performance. But Evan, it wasn't just all the offense in that game. They held Notre Dame to 51 points scoring. That's the fewest and an AC of the fewest that Mike Young has allowed to an ACC opponent. And that's something that's great because you're going to have to take on a Virginia team that's so dominant at scoring the basket.
Virginia Tech is known for shooting the three ball. They like to do that under Coach Mike Young. He brought the offense that served him so well at Wofford to Blacksburg. Hunter Couture, the sophomore from Orlando, is shooting it very well, 47% from deep. Jalen Cone has been the story the majority of the year for Virginia Tech, but his last 3 games, a combined 2 of 19 from deep. They have to find a way to get Jalen Cone getting hot early if they're going to win this game tonight.
Yeah, he is struggling in his last 3 games, but even when he's struggling, he's second in the ACC with 3-pointers made with 32, which is phenomenal to show what he can do when he's hitting his stride. If he even goes to maybe a little bit better, like 30% tonight, that could be a huge difference maker for the Virginia Tech Hokies. He's starting again. This is the second game in a row he's starting since Tyrese Radford has been suspended indefinitely. So the question is, now he's going and getting more minutes. Where does he really start to find his comfort and his ability to shoot once again? Because that's not a good number. He's probably heard that from a couple guys now that he's 2 of 19. He might hesitate every now and then. But when you're that great of a three-point shooter, you got to get comfortable and realize, how do I get momentum back? I got to knock down a couple of these three-pointers. And once he starts doing that, he'll probably get more comfortable and move into being a premier shooter for Virginia Tech in close matchups.
It's the 152nd installment of the Commonwealth Clash. Number 8, Virginia. Number 20, Virginia Tech. Tip-off just moments away here on 3304 Sports. All right, Andy, as we wrap up our pregame show, a key to the game for Virginia Tech, if the 20th ranked Hokies are going to knock off UVA, pick up their first win since 2017 on this floor against the Cavaliers, what must Virginia Tech do to win tonight's game?
Well, I think it's dominate the front court, Evan, and I definitely think that Keve Aluma and Justin Mutz will be the players that have to step up for the Hokies. Taking on Sam Hauser and Jay Huff is no easy task. And if the Hokies are able to do it today, they need a double-double performance. Not maybe a double-double performance, but a performance similar to what they had against Notre Dame in order to put themselves in a big situation.
And if the 8th-ranked Cavaliers were to go on and win their 8th in a row, what must Tony Bennett's squad do tonight to knock off the Hokies?
Well, I think the scoring defense has taken a couple steps backwards as of lately. Maybe adjust defensively. You have to guard that perimeter. You mentioned how good they are at shooting the three-pointers. If the Hokies are able to knock down their shots from deep, they can really run ahead with this matchup. So it's important for the guards to step up defensively for Virginia tonight and allow them to work it inside, allow the Hokies to work it inside where the Cavaliers have the slight advantage.
Taking a look at the injury report before tonight's game, starting with Virginia. No Cody Statman. He's been unavailable due to a non-COVID-19 related cardiac issue. Meanwhile, Kadeen Shedrick, the redshirt freshman forward, has missed the last 4 games. It's still not yet known if he will be available tonight for Virginia. Meanwhile, for Virginia Tech, their second leading scorer, Tyrese Radford, as we mentioned before, suspended indefinitely. And no Cordell Pencil tonight for Virginia Tech. The transfer from Iowa has not played since December 29th. All right, what's on the line, Andy, for Virginia and Virginia Tech? One thing that's on the line in this top 20 matchup.
Well, I think it's pretty much just trying to get a big-time win into January. It's about to be February, and that's where the bubble starts to get formed. Both teams are looking to be on the good side of that bubble. Virginia Tech, if they win today, they put themselves back in the conversation as being one of the best teams in the ACC. If Virginia wins here tonight, they might legitimately be the biggest test to Gonzaga and Baylor in all of college basketball.
UVA leads the all-time series 95-56, dating back to 1914. Virginia and Virginia Tech have been playing each other in men's hoop for over 100 years, and this is arguably one of the biggest matchups yet. Number 8 Virginia, number 20 Virginia Tech. It's the Commonwealth Clash on 3304 Sports. We'll step aside for a break. When we come back, Andy Loce has the first half play-by-play coverage of the Cavaliers and the Hokies. You're listening to 3304 Sports coverage of ACC men's basketball from Cassell Coliseum.
Hello and welcome here to Cassell Coliseum, where we're in Blacksburg, Virginia, as we have a top 20 matchup on hand between the number 8 ranked Virginia Cavaliers and the number 20th ranked Virginia Tech Hokies. It's a wonderful day for college basketball, and we got all the action here on 3304 Sports. I'm Andy Loce. That's Evan Hughes. We got ourselves a wonderful matchup, Evan, and it's not really to say is this could be the ACC game of the year so far.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with the ACC being down early, but now Virginia has caught their stride. They've won 7 in a row. Florida State's hot. They're up to number 16 in the AP poll. The surprise of the conference, Virginia Tech at 11-3 on the year, 6-2 in ACC play. This is an important one tonight for the standings in the ACC. It's also an important one because it's the Commonwealth Clash.
We are about 6 weeks away from March Madness, and all these tournaments are really getting underway, and this has really that March feel to it. Later mid-season matchup between two teams that are finding their strides. Let's go into the starting lineups for the Virginia Cavaliers. Kihei Clark, Reese Bleekman are the 2 guards that are starting. Sam Hauser, the forward, starting lineup as well. Trey Murphy, the 3rd, is a guard starting in the lineup. And Jay Huff, the other forward. For the Virginia Tech Hokies, you got guards Wabisa Beatty, Naheem Ali, Jalen Cone, and the 2 forwards, Keve Luma and Justin Mutson. Evan, I read you these starting lineups to you. What matchup are you most excited for on the court?
Well, we talked about it in the pregame show. I'm really intrigued to see how Keve Aluma, who bounced back after 2 tough games against Wake Forest and Syracuse, had a double-double against Notre Dame. How does the 6'9" redshirt junior forward, the transfer from Wofford, match up inside against Jay Huff, who's 7'1", and Sam Hauser, who's 6'8"? If Huff and Hauser control the front court, big advantage for UVA tonight.
The Virginia Cavaliers are wearing their navy blue, while the Virginia Tech Hokies are wearing their all white. And now the officials are really ready to get going now. Jamie Lucky, Clarence Armstrong, and Jerry Heater are officials on the court tonight. Evan, this is just an awesome feeling. Enter Sandman playing. The marching Virginians are back in Cassell Coliseum. A crowd of 250 here today. And Blacksburg, we all know that this place would be to the roof in normal circumstances. We are really excited to get back to playing college basketball in front of fans. But tonight, we have ourselves a top 20 matchup, and let's see if it really lives up to the hype of this big-time ACC matchup. Jay Huff and Keve Alume will be the 2 that are going to be tipping it off to start the action here in Blacksburg, Virginia.
Kihei Clark talking with Sam Hauser right now. So much experience on this Virginia team with Clark. Huff, who's a redshirt senior. Hauser, a redshirt senior. Very experienced squad for Tony Bennett.
That's the thing when you look at Virginia Tech. They're also a pretty young team as well. Virginia having a little bit more experience when it comes to playing in the ACC. And Sam Hauser making his first year in the ACC, still doing a wonderful job as well. We are ready to get it underway here in Cassell Coliseum. The officials in the middle, and the tip is up, and Keve Alume will win it as Jalen Cone collects. Well, Bisa Bidi will bring the ball up the court as he passes the VT logo as he dribbles it to the near wing. Alume coming up as he gives it on over to Alume at the near wing. Bounce pass inside to Mutz. Mutz has that matchup on Hauser, who kicks it back out to Alume on the top of the perimeter. They give it to Jalen Cone. He fires from the top of the key. That one rims in and out, and it's rebounded by Sam Hauser. Jalen Cone's been struggling recently in his performances. He takes the first look at it, can't knock it down. Kia Clark is the one who brings it up half court as he finds it over to Bleekman, who gives it back over to Clark. Clark going to shoot it from the near wing and buries that one from deep. Virginia's the first one on the board. Kia Clark decided the outcome of last year's matchup at Cassell Coliseum. He gets the scoring going tonight. BD brings up the ball as he gets to the top of the perimeter, finds Mutz on that near wing, gives it inside to Aluma. Aluma goes underneath the basket and lays it up with the right hand on the low post. They get Virginia Tech its first field goal of the game.
He was able to split Hauser and Huff. That's an important look there, and that's going to be a matchup we're watching all night long, the front court between both sides.
Huff going to fire from deep, and that one rims in and out. Whoa, it actually took a bounce off the back rim and found it go down. So Jay Huff, he made 7 of those against the Syracuse Orange. He makes his first attempt of this one. It's 6-2 Virginia over the Hokies. Beatty with the dribble as he goes to the left wing, gives it to Mutz. Mutz who's going to give it down low to the Aluma down there on the low block. He's trying to back it inside on Huff, who gives it up to Mutz. Mutz fires it. He can't get that one to go, and Jay Huff is there alone to collect the rebound. It's Bleekman, the one who brings the ball up for the Virginia Cavaliers, who finds Hauser, who swings it over to Trey Murphy on the far wing. Gives it back up to Clark, who is on the Virginia Tech logo, who finds Bleekman on the right wing. Looking in for Hauser, but kicks it back up to the top of the perimeter for Clark. Clark looking to drive it inside, picks up his dribble, and finds Huff on the top of the perimeter. He pump fakes, he thinks about it. He's going to fire the long two-pointer, and that hits off the front of the rim and rebounded by Justin Mutz.
Really solid perimeter defense there from Virginia Tech.
Jalen Cone's the one to bring it up. He almost trips and falls, but able to pick it up. But he has to collect his dribble, and he finds a lean on that left wing. It's now Keve Alume and Jay Huff. They have the isolation as Huff goes up and gets a hand of it, and that he pokes it away to Bleekman, who collects the rebound, and Virginia with the ball once again.
His 33rd block of the year.
Bleekman gives it to Huff, who Huff finds it to Murphy the third on that near wing. Gives it to Clark on the top of the perimeter, gets that high screen from Jay Huff to Bleekman in the far corner. Bleekman gives it back to Clark on that far wing, as back to Bleekman, who gives it down low to Hauser. Hauser on Justin Mutz. Hauser has 5 seconds to work with on the shot clock. Looking to find that double coverage is there for Virginia Tech, and Murphy's going to fire up a 3, and it hits nothing. So a shot clock violation called on the Virginia Cavaliers, and these two teams know how to play defense, Evan, and that was our first look at what the Hokies can do.
That was an excellent double team. Jalen Cone coming on the weak side to the block. And that forced the quick pass out to the perimeter. Beekman had about a second to catch and shoot there. Best defensive possession of the night for Virginia Tech.
Mutz is going to be the one to inbound out here to Beatty, who brings it across half court and gives up to Lume on the near wing, who finds Mutz and gives it a lean on the far wing. Cone's the one who has it up the top of the perimeter. Gives it to Mutz. Mutz trying to work it on Hauser, but swings it back to Aline, who bounce passes it to Mutt on the far wing. Gives it into Aluma. He's got the double team coming from Clark and Huff as Alume trying to do something with it. Great pump fake and goes over and under again and to lay it in with the right hand on the left block. And that's enough for him to get his second basket of the game. It's 6-4 Cavaliers, 16:36 remaining. Clark has the ball on the top of the perimeter, finds an open Bleekman in the near corner. That one can't go. Aline goes up and gets the rebound, and the Hokies have an opportunity to tie it up. They're going to find the cutting Aluma, and that is out of bounds on Jay Huff. Aline tried to put it over top of Jay Huff, but it is poked out of bounds, and Virginia Tech will have the inbound on the far post. So the right post underneath the Virginia Tech basket.
So far, Jay Huff has blocked a shot from Keve Aluma. Aluma's also gone inside on him and twice scored.
Beatty finds Aluma, who has that one-on-one matchup with Jay Huff. That'll be interesting to watch as Aline gets a great pass to Justin Mutz, who went up and collected over Sam Hauser, and that ties up this matchup. It's Virginia Tech 6, Virginia Tech 6. Murphy gives over to Hauser, who finds it to Bleekman, and Bleekman gives it back to Clark. Clark gonna fire up. Great block by Wabisa Beatty on the high post. It's a scramble for the ball, but Virginia's the one who collects it and now gives to Murphy, who finds Bleekman out to Hauser. Hauser lines it up from deep. That can't go, and it's rebounded by Aluma.
Great defense from Wabisa Beatty. It set the tone for the entire possession.
Justin Mutz on that left wing. Now he finds Aluma on the right wing. Gives it into Aline. Aline puts one dribble down. That shot goes short off the front iron, and it's rebounded by Murphy III. 15:30 left to play here in this first half. Both teams tied at 6 in this Commonwealth clash. Clark picks up his dribble on the Virginia Tech logo and finds Murphy III. Murphy finds Clark again on the top of the perimeter. Bleekman going to go in a cut from outside to the far corner. He bounces it inside now to Hauser. Hauser backing down Jalen Cone. That one can't get to go. Huff got a hand in there, but it's collected by Keve Aluma.
And that's a possession Huff wants back because he had Jalen Cone on him in the post. A mismatch, could not convert.
Beatty now collecting with his left hand as he gives it now down to Justin Mutz. We're past the 15-minute mark here in Cassell Coliseum. He finds Aluma open in the perimeter, knocks it down from deep. And the Virginia Tech Hokies have their first lead of the game as Keve Aluma has 6 of Virginia Tech's 9.
Great look there for Virginia Tech. Aluma wide open at the top.
Correction, actually 7 points for Keve Aluma. Bleekman finds to the Murphy III in the near corner, who gives it back out to Hauser, who finds Kie Clark. Clark going to bring it inside now to Huff. And that isolation ball right there between Huff and Mutz. Great look there from Jay Huff to find his open teammate Bleek in the corner. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Clark buries that one from deep.
What a shot from Kihei Clark. Shot clock winding down. He's standing on the V part of the VT logo and drills it.
He was getting a signal from the Virginia's bench to fire it up, and he did so, and Virginia ties the game back up at 9. Cone in the near corner. He's looking to find Keve Aluma. It's tapped away, but Aluma's able to save it, to give it to Aline. And now Murphy III is out in the open court as Wabisa Beatty reaches inside to poke it away, but a foul is called. An exciting first 6 minutes and 7 seconds here in Cassell Coliseum with 13:53 to go. It's the Virginia Cavaliers 9, the Virginia Tech Hokies 9 here in Cassell Coliseum. You're listening to 3304 Sports. Welcome back here to Cassell Coliseum, and for this Virginia Tech-Virginia matchup, we have 13 minutes and 53 seconds remaining. Both teams tied at 9, but right now for each team, they both have 2 main scorers that have helped them ignite this matchup.
Yeah, it's the Kihei Clark and Keve Aluma show early, Andy. Kihei Clark with 6 points for Virginia, and Keve Aluma is getting it done inside with 7 points for Virginia Tech. We talked about it in the pregame. The front court would be the story of the game. Aluma right now has the advantage early over Hauser and Huff.
Casey Morsell comes in for Trey Murphy III for Virginia, and Hunter Couture comes in for Jalen Cone for the Virginia Tech Hokies. Play is resumed as an inbound pass underneath UVA's basket as it finds it to Kihei Clark, who gives it up to Casey Morsell. Casey Morsell works from the near wing to the top of the perimeter as he finds Kihei Clark. Hauser looking to dial it up from 3. Can't get that one to go as it's off the rim and collected by Naheem Aline.
Hauser coming off those 7 made threes against Syracuse, 0 of 2 early.
Beatty with the one-handed pass to Justin Mutz on the ground, but he can't find anything, so it gives up to Aline at the top of the perimeter. Hunter Couture's the one with it. He's going to shoot it from the high post and knock down the fadeaway. Nothing but net, and the Virginia Tech Hokies are back up 11-9 as we have 13:08 remaining in this first half. Clark takes a pass half court for the Virginia Cavaliers, as he finds Jay Huff, who gives the high screen to Kihei Clark, who's going to find it to Beekman. Beekman finds it to Hauser in the top of the perimeter, who finds it to Casey Morsell on the right wing. Huff going to dial that one up for 3 and knocks it down.
It's a great look, Andy. I mean, coming right up top, and Hauser and Huff have had good looks from 3. They haven't knocked down many. If they start making those, that's where UVA can pull away.
Virginia Cavaliers have all 12 of their points from behind the arc. Keve Aluma is the one with the ball in the near wing, who gives it up to Justin Mutz down low. Mutz trying to work it on Hauser down the block. Great spin move. He tries to put up the hook shot, but it's off the right rim, and it's rebounded by the Virginia Cavaliers. Clark is the one who brings it up, who finds it to Hauser, who gives it to Beekman in this near corner. Hauser goes down, but he's able to stand back up. Must have tripped over a Virginia Tech Hokie, but he looks good to go. Morsell has the ball on the far wing as he dribbles it into the top of the perimeter, who finds it to Beekman. Beekman gives it down low to Hauser. What a post move by Sam Hauser, and he takes it to the rack and lays it in.
Yeah, Justin Mutz went right and Hauser spun left. Just a wide open look for the Cavaliers.
14-11, the Virginia Cavaliers on top of the Virginia Tech Hokies with just under 12 minutes to play in this first half. Mutz has it as he gives it to Keve Luma. Luma trying to work the post move as well. Goes up with it. He's fouled on the way up. So he had 2 shots coming his way. It's the first personal foul for the Virginia Cavaliers in this one. We're going to go to immediate timeout with 11:45 left to play. It's the Virginia Cavaliers 14, the Virginia Tech Hokies 11. You're listening to 3304 Sports. Welcome back here to Cassell Coliseum. 11:45 left to go here in the Commonwealth Clash. The Virginia Cavaliers on top of the Virginia Tech Hokies 14-11. Keve Lume has 2 free throws coming up for the Virginia Tech Hokies as he was fouled by Trey Murphy III.
Nice start to this game for Keve Aluma. 7 points, 3 of 4 from the field.
Aluma's first free throw is able to knock down. We have some substitutions in this game. Bringing in is David Gasong. Then we have Jalen Cone coming back in for Virginia Tech. Francisco Cafaro and Thomas Wodatensai checking in for Virginia as well. Keve Lume knocks down the second free throw, and that will bring now in John Ogiaco for the Virginia Tech Hokies.
He's been banged up early this year. 6'10", big presence inside.
Kie Clark brings the ball up the court now for Virginia as he collects it again as his pass from Wodatensai. Clark has on top of perimeter. Wodatensai coming in from underneath. Finds Sam Hauser in the near quarter. Hauser trying to work it in. Picks up his dribble. Wodatensai now trying to drive it on Couture. He's run up on Couture, and Couture plays great stand-up defense. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Hauser trying to fire from deep. Bang! Knocks that one in as the shot clock was in 2. And the Virginia Cavaliers now up 17-13 with 11:08 to go in this first half.
2 threes for UVA in this half they've buried with less than 4 seconds on the shot clock in a possession.
But BC now gives it to Gasong. Gasong driving in on Sam Hauser, takes it to the rack, and he's fouled on the way up. And he has 2 free throws coming in, his first offensive possession, and he's an opportunity to knock down 2 free throws.
You know, the highlight of Mike Young's first recruiting class in Blacksburg was really about top 100 guards and Joe Bamasiel and Darius Maddox. But it's been the 3-star from the Netherlands, David Gasson, who's been the most trusted freshman on the floor this year for Tech.
The foul was committed by Sam Hauser, his first foul, and I did say that Trey Murphy was the one who fouled originally as the Gasson banks that free throw in to make it 17-14. It was actually on Reese Beekman, so apologies for that foul call out. So Beekman and Hauser both have 1 foul each.
It's 6:22 on Saturday. The bank is still open in Blacksburg.
Gasson not able to knock that one in as it hits off the rim of the backboard and rebounded by Casey Morsell. He gives that one off to Clark, as Clark is looking at now to find Morsell cutting in. Morsell has to come in as Clark was getting some pressure from the top of the perimeter. Morsell brings up the top of the perimeter as he gives it over to Clark, who looks inside now. He's looking at Cafaro. Cafaro gives it back out to Morsell. Morsell looking to drive it inside, lays it up in over Jalen Cone. And the Virginia Cavaliers now up 19-14 here in Cassell Coliseum, 10:30 to play.
Good defense from Jalen Cone, but better offense there from Morsell.
Gasong trying to take it to the basket once again, but a traveling violation called on Gasong.
So Virginia hot right now at the moment. Sam Hauser has gotten going from behind the arc. Morsell's driving in well. This is important for Virginia Tech defensively to get a couple of stops because UVA, a little bit of a run, largest lead of the day at 5.
Clark gives it off to Morsell, who's going to find the cutting Wodatenson, who pump fakes it and gives it back to Morsell. He's going to fire from 3. It bounces in and out as it's rebounded by Wabisa Beatty, and he's looking to push up the court. Gives it to Hunter Couture, who's on the far wing, dribbles inside the perimeter, was looking to give it to Ogiaco. The pass wasn't there, so he kicks it out to Beatty on the right wing. Finds Ogiaco. It's Ogiaco working it now in on the Virginia defender. A flop kind of there as the defender falls down, and Ogiaco can't get that one to go.
I think he was so surprised he was that wide open with no call after Hauser hit the floor.
Cafaro was trying to sell it a bit right there, but couldn't get that one to get called. Clark is going to find the open Will Tenson in the far corner. He's going to pump fake it on Hunter Couture and now down to Cafaro. We just saw this matchup last time. Let's see how it works on the alternate side. As the tap poked away from Hunter Couture, and he does enough with it to come off of Will Tenson. So now the Virginia Tech Hokies will have possession of it with 9:19 left to play.
That was great defense from John Ojiako. He's only been playing basketball for 4 years. Ojiako from Nigeria has not played that much this year due to an injury. And that was a really big offensive possession for him, even though he couldn't finish it. Then there, essentially forced the turnover after denying access inside.
So both defenses win in those two matchups we just saw right there. Reese Beekman coming in for Kie Clark for Virginia, while Justin Mutz, Keve Aluma, and Naheem Aline all come in for the Virginia Tech Hokies as John Ojiago, Jalen Cone, and David Gasong depart. Naheem Aline has it now as he gets up to Keve Aluma on the top perimeter, who hands off to Hunter Couture. It fires with the back of the iron. Aluma trying to go over top of Casey Morrisdale to get the rebound, but can't get that one to go as Jay Huff is checking back in now for the Virginia Cavaliers as Francisco Cafaro goes to the bench.
Virginia Tech has not scored a field goal since the 13-14 mark. We're at 9:03 left. Great defense the last 4 minutes for UVA.
Morrisdale at the logo as he finds Beekman on the far wing. Jay Huff coming in for the high screen, and it's going to be an illegal screen called on Jay Huff. So he comes back into the game, and about a few seconds in, he commits a personal foul. 8:53 remaining here at Cassell Coliseum. It's 19-14. The Virginia Cavaliers on top of the Virginia Tech Hokies. Mutt's going to be the one to inbound it now to Wabisa Beatty as he's going to bring this one across the timeline. He takes it to the near wing as he finds Mutz on the high post, who hands it back off to Beatty, who bounces inside of Couture, and it's poked away by Will Tenson. He finds it now to Casey Morrisdale, who's going to give it back up top to Beekman, who is at the Virginia Tech logo. He dribbled it inside, but bounced back out to the near wing, who gives it to Morrisdale, who gives it back to Beekman. Beekman with the left hand dribbles it back up to the top of the perimeter, who finds Casey Morrisdale, who's trying to create the separation to Naheem Aline, and buries that shot from the corner. Casey Morrisdale is 2 of 2 in this game, and he's got Virginia up 22-14 with 8:15 remaining.
Virginia does such a great job offensively, Andy, of creating their own shot.
Aline's the one with the ball right now on the far wing as he gives it off to Keve Aluma, who finds Couture on the top of the rim, driving inside on 2 Virginia Cavaliers and lays it up and in on the low post. And Keve Aluma comes back in the game, and now he is 9 for the Virginia Tech Hokies.
That's a much-needed basket for Virginia Tech. First field goal since the 13-minute mark. There was 7:57 to go.
Beekman gives it to Huff on the top of the perimeter, who finds Morrisdale. Back off the Will to 10 side. He's going to take that jumper just inside the three-point line, but it's rebounded by Justin Mutz as they couldn't get it to fall.
Mike Young comes on the court as Beatty started to push, and he holds out that right hand saying, slow it down.
Couture's the one who gives it to Beatty. Beatty gives it to Clark. Aluma fires for 3, knocks it down. Keve Aluma has 12 of Virginia Tech's 19, and they trail the Virginia Cavaliers by 2 with 7:17 remaining. Beekman finds Morrisdale now in the near corner as Morrisdale going to bring it back up to the top of the perimeter, who finds Jay Huff. Huff now with a Murphy III, who threw it inside there. The Will to 10 side, who's trying to do a post move on Naheem Aline, lays up with the left hand, can't get that one to fall. The Hokies with the rebound. It goes to the hands of Beatty, and they have an opportunity to tie it up or take the lead on this possession. 6:53 remaining here in Blacksburg as the Virginia Cavaliers up 21-19 on the Virginia Tech Hokies. Beatty's the one who has it on the top of the rim by the Virginia Tech logo. Dribbles to the right hand, switches to the left, who gives it back up to Aluma on the top of the perimeter. Aluma, nice bounce pass to Aline, but can't handle it. It goes off of him out of bounds, and that's going to bring us to the media timeout. An opportunity for the Virginia Tech Hokies just slipped away. It's Virginia Cavaliers 21, Virginia Tech Hokies 19, 6:37 remaining. You're listening to 3304 Sports. Welcome back here to Cassell Coliseum for this Commonwealth clash between the number 8th ranked Virginia Cavaliers and number 20th ranked Virginia Tech Hokies. Right now, Virginia with a slight edge, up 21-19 with 6 minutes and 37 seconds remaining in Blacksburg. It's been a great game so far. We have some substitutions to announce. Jalen Cone coming in for the Virginia Tech Hokies, as well as Sam Hauser and Kie Clark for the Virginia Cavaliers. So all but one starter for each team, or excuse me, 4 starters and 1 bench player for each team right now. Clark has the ball on the low post, and as he travels that, as Jalen Cone and Clark were playing great one-on-one basketball down there on the low post. 6:24 remaining, and now Virginia Tech Hokies have another opportunity to get this game back to a tied score or with an opportunity to lead again.
Story of this game, Cavaliers, 14 points, 5 of 6 from the field. You have to think they're going to try and find him on this possession.
Mutt's going to find Aluma, who drives inside and slams it down. Cavaliers took that from the high wing and went right down low, and we're all tied up, 21 all, 6:02 remaining. Morcell has the ball for the Virginia Cavaliers on that near wing as he's looking for Jay Huff, who calls him inside. Morcell now looking for the opportunity. He gives it to Clark. Clark going to go down to Huff. Huff brings it back out to Clark. He's going to fire from the far wing. Knocks that one down. So a highlight play from Aluma, and Kie Clark goes back down the court and buries his third three-pointer of the game.
Even though there's only 250 people here, he doesn't silence the crowd, but he silences the momentum.
Couture tries to give to Jalen Cone, but it went out Jalen Cone's hands, but Couture was able to scoop that one up and give it to Keve Aluma. Aline with it now, driving down to the right post. It looks as if it was maybe poked away from Casey Morcell. It was. It will be Virginia basketball, though, as it went off the hands of Keve Aluma. 24-21 here. Virginia Cavaliers on top of the Virginia Tech Hokies. 5:20 remaining in this first half. A few substitutions now for both teams. David Gasson coming in for the Virginia Tech Hokies, and Trey Murphy III coming in for Jay Huff. So Murphy III is the one who brings up the ball, and he gives it up to Sam Hauser, who finds Morcell. Murphy III now driving inside as he causes a double dribble, and it will turn the ball back over the Virginia Tech Hokies. So some sloppy offensive possessions here and there for both teams, Evan.
Yeah, no question. And Mike Young was standing right there on the baseline, looking right at the official. Gives him the double dribble. Both teams with a small lineup right now on the floor, not a lot of height.
Couture finds Cone, who is a three-man weaves kind of system, as it's off the hands of Justin Mutz as Gasson was trying to give it to his forward. Couture has the ball as he dribbles it out and finds Jalen Cone. That one's off the money, and it's rebounded by the Virginia Cavaliers. Excellent boxing out from the Cavaliers. Trey Murphy III is the one who collects the rebound for his third of the game.
No points for Jalen Cone. Still cold from his last 2 games. Has yet to heat up.
It's going to be Kie Clark on the top of perimeter now for the Virginia Cavaliers, who drives and finds a Casey Morcell open the corner. Can't get that one connect. And Naheem Aline collects the rebound and pushes it up past half court. Screen from Justin Mutz. He didn't find the open Mutz. Is Couture going to line that one up, and that one can't go. And rebounded by Clark. It's a 2-on-2 for the Virginia Cavaliers. A spin move by Clark, and underneath. What a drive and what a finish from Kie Clark. It gives the Virginia Cavaliers a 26-21 lead. He has 11 on the game. We're going to go to immediate timeout with 4:10 remaining. The Cavaliers up by 5. Welcome back here to Cassell Coliseum. We're out of this Virginia Tech timeout that turned into a media timeout. So with 4:10 remaining, the 8th-ranked Virginia Cavaliers lead the 20th-ranked Virginia Tech Hokies 26-21. 4 minutes and 10 seconds remaining, Evan. What's going to be the difference maker for both teams going into the locker room?
Well, I think for Virginia, it's about getting Sam Hauser and Jay Huff some looks inside for Virginia Tech. They've got to feed the hot hand in Keve Aluma, who's dropped 16 points in the first half.
He's checked back in now for the Virginia Tech Hokies, as the Hokies are the ones that start the ball in this possession. Tough pass in Aluma. He throws it up thinking he's fouled. Gasson was the one who was trying to put it back for the Virginia Tech Hokies. He couldn't get that one to go. It's rebounded by Kie Clark, and it's brought out to half court. Hauser has on the Virginia Tech logo as Morcell's the one with the on the near wing. He tries to drive it inside, poked it away, but is able to collect it again and kick it back out to Clark. Clark gives it out to Hauser. Morcell now on the near wing. Morcell gives it now over to Beekman. Beekman using left-handed drive. He's going to find Murphy. Murphy the third, 3 seconds on the shot clock. Someone's got to shoot it for the Cavaliers. Murphy's the one who does and knocks it down. Trey Murphy the third has this big connection as it is his first basket in this game, and it's a huge one to put the Cavaliers up by 8.
That's 3 3-pointers for UVA. That has come with 3 seconds or left in the shot clock in this first half.
Cohen tries to drive inside but gives an awful pass as it's stolen away by Kie Clark, who finds Morcell on the near wing. Morcell dribbles a bit back up to the top of the rim, who finds Sam Hauser. Murphy the third driving inside to Keve Aluma, and a traveling violation will be called on Murphy the third.
So really important 2 minutes and 51 seconds for Virginia Tech. They tied the game at 21. UVA's now gone on an 8-0 run. They have the momentum. They've had a couple of really great shots late in the shot clock. The next 2:51, I think, goes a long way to dictating how this game finishes. Hokies have to get some offensive momentum.
Not to mention their largest lead of the game with 8. Keve Lume was driving in on Trey Murphy III and a foul called on the floor. As we look at the fouls between both teams, Virginia Cavaliers have committed 4 fouls. Virginia Tech have been a little cleaner. Only 1 personal foul so far in this game. 2:44 remaining as a 29-21 lead for the Virginia Cavaliers. Couture's the one to inbound it now as he finds Beatty in the far corner. Dribbles it around. He finds Cone up by the top of the far ring. Gives it over to Luma now, who finds Beatty in the corner. Beatty trying to drive it inside, going to fire from the high post. That's short, but Aluma's almost there to rebound it. It's poked up from behind. Virginia getting the last hand on that one, and it's given to Sam Hauser for the rebound.
Good look for Wabisa Beatty, just couldn't knock it down.
Morrisell driving with the left hand, steps back, thought about shooting, but held it his own, who finds Kie Clark, who gives up to Sam Hauser, top of the perimeter, and he does not connect on that one, as it's a hard bounce off the rim, and Cone is the one who gives it now over to Wabisa Beatty. 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. It's 29-21. Virginia over the Virginia Tech Hokies. Justin Mutz finds Cone. He's going to dial that one up for 3. He can't get it to go, but a foul called. So 3 free throws coming up for Jalen Cone.
Nope.
Beekman, or excuse me, it was actually an offensive foul. I thought that the sweeping motion made by the official meant that Beekman went underneath Cone, but instead it is a turnover on Jalen Cone. So the Virginia Cavaliers will retain possession with 1:50 remaining in this first half. Morrisell finds Hauser, who gives over to Clark. Clark gives it over to Murphy III on the far side, and they swing it over to Beekman. Beekman gives it now to the top of the perimeter to Trey Murphy, drives inside, tries to kick it. The ball doesn't go to anyone at first, but it finds Beekman, who gives it to Hauser. Hauser driving in, gives it to Morrisell. Hauser has 5 seconds to work with now for the Virginia Cavaliers. He kicks it all over to Kie Clark. 1 second. He's not going to get a shot off, and it's tapped away, and it's it's a shot clock violation. Kie Clark was asking for the foul. He wasn't going to get it from one of our officials here today. 1:23 remaining in this first half. BD allowing this one to roll out to half court where they can buy as much time as they can before halftime.
Hokies have not scored a field goal since the 6:10 mark. That was the dunk from Aluma.
Beekman almost poked that away from Jalen Cone, but he's able to collect it as he's now all alone at the top of the perimeter, who finds it the Mutz. It's poked away. Aluma trying to go inside and try to collect it, but it's tapped to Kie Clark, who will get credit for the steal.
Virginia's just been so much smarter than Virginia Tech the last 7 minutes. Not as many turnovers, making shots late in the shot clock. A little sloppy as of late for Mike Young's squad.
Less than a minute to go here in this first half. It's Trey Murphy who's on the top of the perimeter, who finds Beekman, who gives it back over to Kie Clark. Clark on the top of the perimeter. He's getting a screen from Murphy III, who tries it inside, tries to kick it back out. He does to Beekman, who's all alone for 3. Can't get that one to fall. It's rebounded by Aluma, and the Virginia Tech Hokies will retain possession. Approximately an 8-second differential between the play clock and the shot clock here in Cassell Coliseum. We are under 30 seconds to go here between Virginia Tech and Virginia. It's 29-21, Cavaliers over the Hokies. Beatty finds Aluma, who's going to square it up at the top of the perimeter. That one can't get to go, but a foul called on the floor. It will go against the Virginia Cavaliers, and with 18.6 seconds remaining in this first half, the Virginia Tech Hokies can hold it for the remainder of time.
And even though they haven't had a field goal in over the last 5.5 minutes, a bucket here to go into halftime would really be important, just to have a little bit of momentum. But this first half has just been full of runs, back and forth.
Cafaro checks back in now for Virginia as Sam Hauser departs. Virginia Tech only committing 2 fouls, Virginia only committing 5. Looks like we won't reach the bonus in this half. Beatty's going to find Keve Aluma with 17 seconds remaining in this first half. Couture has on the top of the perimeter, who gives up to Beatty. And it looks like the Virginia Tech Hokies will slow it down. 10 seconds remaining. 7. Beatty looking to make a move out of it. Drives it inside, tries to lay it with the left hand, and it is off of the Beatty's leg, and the Virginia Cavaliers will have it with 3.7 seconds remaining. They're going to have to do something quick here.
Great defense there.
Beekman finds Clark as the running clock goes with 2 seconds left. Clark driving all the way. He's trying to put up the floater. Shots up. It's off the front of the iron. It cannot fall, and that's how we end the first half. the Virginia Cavaliers on top of the Virginia Tech Hokies 29-21. Evan, we said this was going to be a very defensive game, and we've seen that so far from both teams.
It has. We'll talk about it here in the halftime report coming up in just a moment, but Cafe Aluma, I mean, all of Virginia Tech's offense essentially, 16 of their 21 points at the break. Virginia did a lot of things really well on the defensive end. They made enough shots to hang on to this 8-point lead. Very fun first half.
If you like defense, you like the way this matchup is going. Right now, it's Akie Clark versus Cafe Aluma. Both players in double figures already for their respective teams. We're going to take a break here, and we'll be back for the 3304 Sports Halftime Show between the Virginia Tech Hokies and the Virginia Cavaliers. So you're listening to 3304 Sports. Welcome back to the 3304 Sports Halftime Show, live from Cassell Coliseum. The Virginia Cavaliers, ranked 8th in the nation, have 29, and the Virginia Tech Hokies, ranked 20th, have 21. It was a defensive-style first half, but two players stood out so far in this matchup. We'll talk about the Virginia Cavaliers player who currently leads 29-21. It is Akie Clark. Evan, perfect from behind the arc, and he's really been the difference maker for Virginia having his lead so far.
You know, in UVA's last win against Syracuse, he had a season-high 9 assists. He only scored 4 points, but he was a focal point in the win over the Orange. Today, he's been a focal point on offense, but it's because of his scoring. As you mentioned, 11 points, 3 of 3 from deep, and a lot of Virginia's success have come on possessions late in the shot clock. These deep threes, about 4 or 3 seconds left. Akie Clark has paced the offense and done an excellent job of picking up in place of Jay Huff and Sam Hauser, who have combined for just 11 points for Virginia. I think if you told Mike Young you'd be at halftime and you would hold Huff and Hauser to a combined 11 points, he would think he would have the lead. So Clark has been really important to Virginia having this lead at the break.
Well, let's flip over to the Virginia Tech player as well. Evan, only 4 players have scored for the Virginia Tech Hokies in this first half. 3 of them have 2 points or less. The rest of them are coming from Cafe Aluma, who leads the Virginia Tech Hokies with 16 total points, excellent 6 of 8 from the field, and has 4 rebounds. We mentioned that Aluma's going to have to try to win the battle in the front court versus Jay Huff and Sam Hauser, but right now, Cafe Aluma's doing all his work right now for Virginia Tech. Who needs to step up for the Hokies around him?
Is it fair to say just about everybody to get him some help? Because I don't think Cafe Aluma could continue to produce at the rate he's going right now if he's not going to get any help, because Virginia is just going to double team in the post if they can't get any production from anyone else. I think it has to be Jalen Cone. If the Hokies are going to win this game, Jalen Cone has to start knocking down some shots from behind the arc. He's 0 of 2 from deep. That means over his last now 3.5 games, Cone is 2 of 21 from deep. This is a guy who scored 23 against Louisville, 18 against Notre Dame, scored in double digits against Duke. There has to be a counterpart to Cafe Aluma on offense, and I think it starts with a guard. It's either got to be Jalen Cone or Hunter Couture, who just had 2 points in that opening half, was 0 of 2 from deep. I mean, Virginia Tech just 2 made threes in the first half. I think it goes to show just how good this perimeter defense is for the number 8 team in the country.
Virginia has been doing its majority of its work from behind the arc. 21 of their 29 points have come from deep, and Akie Clark, that perfect 3 for 3, but Jay Huff, 2 of 2 as well. Evan, what does Virginia Tech have to do to adjust to the first half shooting that Virginia displayed?
Well, a lot of the threes for Virginia were contested looks late in the shot clock. They weren't these wide open looks that you have to go in. I think actually Virginia Tech shouldn't change anything at the break. Sometimes you just make some really good shots even though there's good defense, and that's what Virginia was able to do in that opening half. They hold Virginia to just 6 points in the paint. Huff and Hauser were non-factors inside. I like the way Virginia Tech defended. Again, there were 3 threes made by Virginia with less than 5 on the shot clock. You take away all 3 of those, and the Hokies have a lead at halftime right now. So I thought the defensive game plan was there for Virginia Tech. Virginia just made the shots.
Virginia Tech hasn't scored since the 6:10 mark in the first half. They're 2 of 8 from deep. They're 8 of 21 on the floor. That's going to definitely be the talking point of Mike Young inside the locker room. But let's face it, Evan, if Virginia Tech is going to have to come back in this game, who's going to be your key player?
Well, I think Aluma needs to continue to score. But again, I think it has to be Jalen Cone. I mean, Maybe it's a Naheem Aline who has scored 35 combined points over his last 2 games, but he was held scoreless in that opening half. I think that Justin Mutz, you would like for him to be the nice counterpart to Aluma, but it's a lot to ask for both of your front court players to succeed against Huff and Hauser. There has to be a guard that steps up and can knock down shots behind the perimeter for Virginia Tech.
Virginia looks pretty good the way they're doing right now, but Evan, is there anyone that you need from the Cavaliers to say, come up a little bit and let's try to get this game in our favor?
Yeah, absolutely, and because Virginia Tech's going to make a run. Listen, it's a rivalry game, top 20 matchup. I think that Hauser or Huff, one of the two, needs to finish with about 20 points. I think if one of the two can step up and take a little bit of pressure off of Kihei Clark, who is not a score-first point guard, that's the recipe for success in the second half for Virginia.
The Virginia Tech Hokies need a comeback in the second half to get themselves back into this game. It's 29-21, the Virginia Cavaliers over top the Virginia Tech Hokies in this ACC top 20 matchup. Top 3 teams in the ACC. It'll be an exciting second half. We're looking for an excellent play and another wonderful game in the Commonwealth Clash. That's going to do it from the 3304 Sports Halftime Show. When we come back in the second half, Evan Hughes will take the play-by-play duties to get you through the rest of the game here from Cassell Coliseum.
Welcome back to Cassell Coliseum, the Commonwealth Clash between number 8 Virginia and number 20 Virginia Tech. It's so great to have you with us on 3304 Sports alongside Andy Loce. I'm Evan Hughes. The 8th-ranked Cavaliers lead the 20th-ranked Hokies 29-21 at the break. We're moments away from the second half beginning. And for Virginia, Andy, we mentioned it in the halftime report, just 6 points for Jay Huff in the first half. Sam Hauser only had 5. You have to think both will be more involved in the second half.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely think the Virginia Tech front court may have outdid our expectations for them in the first half, but the problem is you can only contain it for so long before the front court goes back out for Virginia and puts them in a favor.
Virginia in their all-navy uniforms, Virginia Tech in their all-white home unis. Hauser inbound to Kihei Clark. Cavaliers work right to left in the second half. Underway, 29-21 as Clark, top of the key, drives the left block, picks up his dribble, guarded by Beatty, bounce pass for Murphy the third. It hits off his right foot and rolls out of bounds. It'll stay with the Cavaliers. Clark will inbound. Huff, Murphy the third, Hauser and Beekman on the floor. Inbound to Huff, left elbow, dribble handoff, Beekman top of the key, swings right wing for Hauser, works on Couture, slashes to the paint, and lays it in for 2.
Great move there by Hauser. We talked about it at halftime. He needs to get more involved for the Cavaliers.
31-21, Cavaliers lead. Beatty on the floor, works with Couture, Cone, Aluma, and Mutz. Beatty picks up his dribble left wing, guarded by Clark. Fires it up top, Aluma, flings it right wing for Cone. It hits off his chest, corrals it at midcourt. 10 to shoot. Cone dribbles to the free throw line, dumps it off for Aluma right wing. He drives to the ACC stripe, kicks it back out. Mutz top of the key, swings for Beatty to the paint. His floater is good. It just barely beats the buzzer. First points of the evening for Wabisa Beatty. 31-23, UVA leads. Clark brings the ball up the floor. Yo-yo dribble top of the key, swings right wing, Beekman wide open, puts it on the deck for Huff, right block, works on Aluma, picks up his dribble, and a double-double is called. Nice interior work there from Keve Aluma on the defensive end for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, both teams struggled offensively at portions of that first half, Evan, but both teams come out in the second half and score in their first possession.
Senior guard Wabisa Beatty brings the ball up the floor for Tech, puts it on the deck, right block for Aluma. Dribble handoff, Hunter Couture, swings top of the key, fires a pass right wing to Mutz, who swings the left corner for Beatty, fires Cone, a 3, knocks it down. Hot potato around the perimeter, and Jalen Cone, his first points of the game. 90 seconds in, 31-26, Cavaliers lead, but a big bucket for Jalen Cone. Murphy the third, ball over his head, swings top of the key, Clark, kicks to the right corner for Beekman. Dribbles with the left, he's guarded by Cone. 10 to shoot, fires a pass up top for Clark. The junior drives to the right elbow, bounce pass right corner, Beekman with 3 to shoot. Fades away for 3, hits the front iron, rebound Justin Mutz in Virginia Tech. Outlets to Wabisa Beatty, who slows things down offensively. 17:55 to play, 31-26 UVA. Couture dumps it off for Mutz, top of the key, bounce pass left elbow for Aluma. Hands off Beatty. Top of the key. Swings for Mutz. Right wing. 12 to shoot. Puts it on the deck. Left block for Aluma. He's double teamed. Fires it up top for Cone with 5 to shoot. Swings Mutz. Right wing. Drives to the right block. He's doubled his floater off the back iron. Too much. It's off the mark. A rebound. Jay Huff. Quick outlet to Kihei Clark. Swings for Beekman. Controls the offense top of the key. Dumps it off for Murphy the third, who dribbles up top. Guarded by Hunter Couture. He's right on him. Here's a pass to the paint. Beekman nearly had it knocked away. Corrals it. Swings to Hauser top of the key. Fires a pass left wing. Murphy the third. Dribbles in between his legs with 4. Top of the key. Guarded by Mutz. Pulls up a 3. He buries it. Big time bucket. Trey Murphy the third. Cavaliers lead by 8.
I feel like the Virginia Cavaliers, Evan, have this lead because of what they've been able to do. 3 seconds left in the shot clock. Absolutely dominant, and they just getting that last second shot in.
Beatty swings for Cone. Left wing 3. Right back at you. Jalen Cone, his second 3 of the second half.
He only had 2 3-pointers in 3 games coming in this one, Evan. He has 2 to start the second half, and he's got Virginia Tech in it.
16:30 to play. 34-29 UVA. Clark is harassed by Beatty. Dumps it off right wing for Trey Murphy the third. Swings for Clark, top of the key. Clark dumps it off Hauser, right elbow. Gives it back for Beekman in the corner. Drives to the right block, kicks out wide open. Jay Huff for 3. Yes! Jay Huff, nothing but net. Wide open behind the arc. 37-29. Cavaliers lead. That's 3 straight possessions between both teams that have ended in a 3-point field goal. Beatty controls the offense for the Hokies. Swings right wing Cone, pump fakes. Puts it on the deck, Mutz left corner. And a whistle and a foul on Virginia. That'll take us to the under 16 media timeout. The 3-point baskets are dropping for both teams. Number 8 Virginia leads number 20 Virginia Tech in the Commonwealth Clash. We'll be back in just a moment. You're listening to 3304 Sports coverage of ACC men's basketball. Welcome back inside of Cassell Coliseum, the Commonwealth Clash, the 152nd time Virginia and Virginia Tech have met on the hardwood. Number 8 Virginia leads number 20 Virginia Tech 37-29. Evan Hughes back alongside of Andy Loce. One of the main stories in this game, Andy, 9 threes for UVA and just 4 for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, we talked about how Virginia Tech was the team that was good from shooting behind the arc. Virginia is the one who's incorporating it in this game so far.
15:40 to play. Virginia possession. Clark fires a pass right corner for Casey Morrisell. Dribbles top of the key. Now swings back to the right wing. Murphy the third puts it on the deck for Huff on the right block. Guarded by Aluma. Dribbles with the left. Spins. One-hand shot over the head of Keve Aluma is down. Jay Huff makes it a 10-point UVA lead with 15:20 to play. Mutz fires a pass for Hunter Couture right wing. Swings right back up top. Aluma. Dribble handoff Cone for 3. In and out. Rebound Aluma. He's fouled after corralling the ball. Foul will go on Jay Huff. His second personal foul.
Yeah, Jay Huff doing it all right now for the Virginia Cavaliers. 3 of 3 from deep, 4 of 5. He also has 3 rebounds for them and into double figures. He started off this half well.
Beatty lobs up top for Aluma. Pump fakes a pass to the baseline. Swings Couture right corner 3. Buries it. The sophomore from Orlando, Florida, his first points of the game. 39-32. UVA leads under 15 minutes to play. How do the Cavaliers respond? Murphy the third, guarded by Couture straight away. Dribbles on the Carilion Clinic court logo. And fires a pass to Kihei Clark. He's at midcourt, dribbles forward, swings right wing. Morrisell has it open lane. His shot is denied on the layup attempt. Rebound Jalen Cone. He pushes it up and dumps it off for Mutz. Fires a pass to Couture left corner. Swings it down low for Aluma. He's double team. Gets around Huff. His shot off the mark. Rebound Aluma. He goes up again. He's fouled. Count the basket and 1. What a night for Keve Aluma. 16 first half points, his first basket of the second half, an important one, and add 1 bucket in the paint.
He gets that double team treatment that we thought we were going to see in the second half. He got it. He was able to work around Jay Huff and his defenders and lay it in. Got his own rebound, not giving up on the play. That's huge. And now he's an opportunity to cut this to a 4-point game.
Couple of substitutions made. Francisco Cafaro checks in for Virginia. Meanwhile, David Gasson checks in for Virginia Tech. Aluma had 16 of Virginia Tech's 21 points in the first half. His free throw off the back iron. Rebound Hauser, outlet to Kihei Clark. 39-34 our score with 14:20 to play inside of Cassell Coliseum. Clark nearly threw it away. Corralled on the right wing by Trey Murphy III. Picks up his dribble. Lobs down low for Hauser. He's double teamed. Has it, knocks away. Corrals it back. Swings up top. Murphy III drives with the left to the left elbow. Kicks out Clark. Pump fakes a three. Drives inside. Overhead pass to Morcell. Right wing three. Off the mark just before the shot clock sounded. Rebound will be Sabiti. Quickly pushes it to Naheem Aline. His shot on the right elbow. In and out. Rebound Kihei Clark. Hokies try to push it there in transition. Virginia has led since midway through the first half. They're up 5, 39-34. Murphy III drives with the left, steps back on Aline, keeps his dribble alive. 12 to shoot, flings it up top. Clark swings for Hauser right wing, pass to Morcell right corner. Now kicks back to the right wing. Hauser for three. Yes! Sam Hauser, who had 7 threes against Syracuse last game for Virginia, buries the triple. 42-34. 8th ranked Virginia leads. 13 minutes to play. Beatty runs the offense for the Hokies. Swings for Cone. Fires a pass to the corner for Aluma. Drives to the paint. His floater is good, but the foul is called before the shot on Sam Hauser. No basket. The foul is on the floor. It'll stay with the Hokies.
Good dribble and drive there from Aluma. But now this front court duo of Virginia starting to get it going. Jay Huff has reached 11. Hauser now to 10. And when you look at what Virginia's been able to do from behind the arc, to put it into comparison, they have 10 three-pointers made. The rest of their field goals, 6 from inside the arc. Absolutely dominating from behind the arc, and that's the reason why they have this 8-point lead.
Cone lobs up top for Beatty. Swings for Cone. Left wing, acrobatic shot. Misses off the front rim. Rebound, Cafaro, who outlets for Reese Beekman, who will run point for UVA. Just checked back into the game. Fires a pass for Murphy III, left wing. Swings up top, Beekman. Has not scored today, and an offensive foul on Cafaro down low. Looked like an illegal screen.
Yeah, when the whistle was blown, you saw Cone. He almost had one knee down. He got hit pretty hard right there. He's able right now, he's getting subbed out of the game, but hey, anything you can do to really give your team the ball back and put yourself in position to come back in this one.
42-34, Virginia leads, 12.5 minutes to play. The Commonwealth clash. Two rivals separated by a 2.5 drive. Beatty puts it on the deck, right wing. Aluma now drives with the left, gets by his defender, flushes it down, but a foul is called before Aluma went up for the two-hand slam. Foul on the floor. It'll stay here.
I know, Evan, I'm just thinking about this. If this is another league like the NBA, I think he has 2 and 1 opportunities in the continuation. The whistle seems to be called right before he makes the move to the basket, and for Virginia, they're very fortunate. And Aluma knows how to get to the line, and Virginia's trying to do their job to take him off of it.
Beatty jumps in the air to outlet to Gasson, top of the key. We've got a whistle under the basket. A foul on Virginia. The foul is on Trey Murphy III, and Virginia up to 11 personal fouls with 12:20 left. They rank second nationally in personal fouls a game. They average 12. So the Hokies have done a good job of finding ways to get to the free throw line. UVA fouling way more than normal here in this rivalry game.
Yeah, already 6 fouls for the Cavaliers. That bonus is going to come really quick for the Hokies for the aggressive style of play they've had in the second half.
Our officials are conferencing right now. Jamie Lucky, Clarence Armstrong, and Jerry Heater. They will not take a look to see if that was a flagrant. Beatty to inbound, throws it up top for Mutz on the free throw line, dumps it off for Aluma on the right block, kicks out Beatty left corner, swings it up top, deflected off the arm of Beekman. Couture corrals it, swings for Beatty, top of the key, 8 to shoot, dribbles on the left wing, kicks out Mutz left corner, drives into the ACC stripe, one-hand floater in and out, and a rebound for Justin McCoy, who's just checked in for UVA. 42-34, Virginia leads. Under 12 minutes to play here inside of Cassell Coliseum. McCoy fires a chest pass right wing. And the drive inside, in and out. Aluma lost it momentarily, but it is last touched off of Justin McCoy. We're going the other way. 11:43 to play. Virginia is trying to win their 8th straight game against their rival, Virginia Tech, inside of Cassell Coliseum. 42-34 is our score as we step aside for a break. You're listening to 3304 Sports coverage of ACC men's basketball. 11 minutes and 43 seconds left in this top 20 affair from Cassell Coliseum. Thanks so much for being with us on 3304 Sports. Alongside of Andy Loce, I'm Evan Hughes. 8th ranked Virginia leads 20th ranked Virginia Tech 42-34. Andy, what's been the story of the second half?
It's been Virginia's three-point shooting and how they've been able to continue that from the first half. 7 of 15 from behind the arc in that first half. We thought they're going to switch it up a bit, or they're going to continue dialing in from deep. They have been. The Hokies, though, a much better response so far from behind the arc as well, 3 of 5. Now Virginia's problem is foul trouble. Already 6 fouls given to the Hokies in the first 8.5 minutes of this game. So they're going to have to clean up a little bit for the remainder of the time so they don't put the Hokies in the free throw line and give them opportunities to slowly crawl back in this matchup.
And what an opportunity for Virginia Tech with Jay Huff on the bench. He has 3 personal fouls. With just under 12 minutes left, you probably won't see him again until around the 8-minute mark.
Yeah, Huff and Cafaro, both with 3 fouls each, and Sam Hauser with 2 as well. So the front court is going to be a little bit weak at times due to all this foul trouble. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Mutz and Aluma try to continue to attack inside. And speaking about Mutz, he's got to start converting. 1 of 5 from the field. He's got to get a little bit more going on him offensively to get this game back in the Hokies' way.
Hokies in their all-white home uniforms, Virginia in their road blues. Virginia Tech working left to right. Beatty, Couture, Aline, Aluma, and Mutz on the floor as Beatty brings the ball up the floor. Bounce pass at the free throw line for Mutz. Give and go right back to Beatty. Picks up his dribble right elbow. Swings up top for Hunter Couture. Swings it right wing, Beatty. Dribbles in between his legs. Picks up his dribble at the free throw line. Kicks it up top, Aline. Swings left wing, Couture. Dumps it down low for Mutz. Doubled on the right block. Cross court pass, Beatty, right corner. Picks up his dribble. Puts it on the block, right block for Aluma. He pump fakes. Goes up again. He's fouled. Could not convert. But Keve Aluma, who leads all scorers today with 18 points, goes to the free throw line.
There is not a better player in the ACC going to the free throw line than Keve Aluma. Coming into this matchup, he has 80 free throw attempts. He had 81 and now 82 and 83 coming up. But he sits third in the conference with 55 free throws made. So it'll be really big for him to go to the line and in the situations start fouling. And now the 7th foul on Virginia. So Virginia's taking the bonus from here on out, Evan.
It's the first free throw, the second for Aluma. Swish makes the score 42-36. On the floor for Virginia, Clark, Beekman, McCoy, Hauser, and Morcell. Beekman runs the point for UVA as he crosses the timeline. Swings right wing for Hauser. Now back up top, Beekman drives to the ACC stripe, kicks out. Clark tries an off-balance left wing 3. Tried to kiss it off the glass, off the mark. Ball tipped around to midcourt and corralled by Reese Beekman. Swings it for Hauser and flings it up top for Clark. Resets the offense, 10:50 to play. Clark uses a screen, dumps it up top, Hauser. Step back 3, top of the key, off the back iron. Rebound Keve Aluma, who's inching closer and closer to a double-double. 20 points, 7 rebounds. Hokies trailing 42-36. Mutz, the Delaware transfer, swings for Aluma. Hands off Beatty. Directs the offense straight away. Flings it right wing Couture. Swings it up top. Aluma hasn't picked up his dribble. Now he hands off Naheem Aline. Fires a pass left corner. Beatty. 5 to shoot. Beatty tried to put it on the deck. It's kicked off the foot of Kihei Clark. The Hokies will have 4 seconds to shoot.
Yeah, it was fortunate for the Virginia Tech Hokies not to allow Virginia to score on that second chance opportunity. Now they're going to have to construct something really fast here.
Beatty will inbound. The senior from North Andover, Massachusetts. Bounce pass Couture, wide open lane. He lays it in. Couture up to 7 points, 5 in the second half. A 2-possession game. 42-38, number 8 Virginia leads number 20 Virginia Tech. Morcell swings left wing. Beekman drives with the right, and a foul as he flings his arms in the air. We'll see if this is on the floor or in the act of shooting. Just as the Virginia Tech bench comes alive, they quickly sit back down. It is on the shot. Beekman heads to the charity stripe. The foul is on Naheem Aline, the sophomore, his first personal foul of the day.
It was great patience by Beatty on that inbound pass right there, Evan. He could have gave it to Mutch, who broke away from his defender a bit, watched out, and saw the speedy Couture speed by his defender and lay it in for the easy layup.
First free throw from Beekman is good, his first point of the game. Couple of substitutions. Murphy the third checks in for UVA. Second free throw off the back iron. One-hand rebound by Justin Mutz. Beatty looks right over to Coach Mike Young in his second year as he brings the ball over midcourt. He's guarded by Kihei Clark. 2 feet of separation as the point guard puts it on the floor for Aluma, who tries to put on the deck for Mutz. It's tipped away. Aluma corrals the top of the key. Fires a chest pass for Beatty, left wing. Swings it up top of the key. 3, Aline, swish! Naheem Aline had 15 points against Notre Dame last game. Big 3, 2-point game. 43-41 the score. Pass inside and a dunk. 2-hand dunk for Trey Murphy III. Great look inside from Hauser. UVA efficient there on offense, wasting no time. 9:15 to play in the Commonwealth Clash. 45-41 Virginia. Beatty puts it on the deck. Aluma, right block. He's doubled. He tries to fight out of it. Cross-court pass. Beatty tries a right wing 3. You bet! Wabisa Beatty hangs that right hand in the air a little bit longer to celebrate. 45-44, a 1-point game between Virginia and Virginia Tech. All 250 fans will rise. Murphy III swings up top. Kihei Clark fires a chest pass right wing for Beekman. 15 to shoot, pass up top. Huff gets Aluma in the air, streaks to the lane. His floater in and out, tipped back in a second time. It's good.
It almost looked like Aline got a hand on that one there, Evan, as it was bouncing around. Aline and Huff went up for it, and maybe it came off Aline's hand and went in.
8:20 to play, 47-44 Virginia. Aline, who just drained a 3, swings up top for his point guard Beatty, dumps it off Aluma, top of the king. Chest pass to the left wing. Aline puts it on the deck for Mutz, doubled on the right block. His pass deflected and turned over. Hit off the hands of Huff, and Murphy III outlets to Beekman. Under 8 minutes to play, top 20 affair in the Commonwealth Clash. 1 possession game. Murphy III swings up top. Clark dribbles with the left to the left elbow. Picks up his dribble on the left block. Beatty is there as well as Aline. Swings up top. Beekman drives to the right elbow. Kicks out right wing. Murphy a 3 off the back iron. Rebound Wabisa Beatty. And he will slow things down as Mike Young calls out a play. Virginia Tech has not led since early in the first half. They're down by 3. Have trailed as many as 10. Beatty, one-hand pass, Couture, give and go as Beatty gets it back. Right corner, swings to the left wing. Couture tries a 3, buries it! Hunter Couture ties the game at 47. Virginia Tech has erased a 10-point second half deficit. 7:10 to play. Pass up top is deflected and turned over as Beatty goes diving for it. A foul is called on Virginia, a reach-in foul. There's only 250 fans in the stands, but it certainly feels like there's more right now. A tie ball game with 7:08 to play between 8th-ranked Virginia and 20th-ranked Virginia Tech. We'll step aside for a break. You're listening to 3304 Sports coverage of ACC men's basketball. Welcome back to Cassell Coliseum. The top 20 affair has lived up to the hype. 8th-ranked Virginia, 20th-ranked Virginia Tech, the 152nd installment of the Commonwealth Clash, tied at 47. Glad you're with us on 3304 Sports. Alongside Andy Loce, I'm Evan Hughes. Andy, Virginia Tech scored 21 points in the first half. With 7:08 to play in the second half, they've scored 26. What's been the difference?
Definitely shooting from downtown. That's what UVA did to separate themselves from the Hokies in the first half. In the second half, that's their talking point. UVA's gotten kind of cold from the field, not going to lie. They're 3 of 8 from behind the arc after starting 3 of 5. So now Virginia is having some difficulty getting their offense going, and Virginia Tech has the perfect response to that, and their offense starting to hit its stride. Hunter Couture, 10 points now, 2 of 4 from deep. He's been a big role, and most importantly now, Virginia Tech seems to have this momentum.
So out of the media timeout, Wabisa Beatty is at the free throw line, shooting a 1-and-1. The senior from North Andover, Massachusetts, first free throw, in and out, and it finally drops in. Virginia Tech, their first lead since the 14-minute mark in the first half. 48-47, Hokies lead. Beatty, the only player on roster the last time Virginia Tech beat Virginia. He swishes the second free throw. Cavaliers trail by 2. Kihei Clark directs traffic alongside of Beekman, Hauser, Morsell, and Murphy III. The junior dribbles with the right, top of the key, swings up top, past left corner Morsell, and we've got a whistle away from the ball, down low between Hauser and Mutz, and a hold is called on Justin Mutz, the transfer from Delaware, competing in his first Commonwealth Clash. Clark will inbound under the basket. Hauser stands on the left block. Inbounds to Hauser, left corner, dumps it off for Clark. Dribbles to the top of the key. 6:48 to play. Clark swings up top. Murphy III, guarded by Mutz. Dribbles with the right, gets inside, fades away on the block. His shot is short. Rebound to Aline.
Solid defense at Evans, something to look forward to. 4 fouls on Jay Huff.
There's a reason why he's on the bench right now. Beatty, bounce pass, right elbow, Aluma. He drives with the right to the right block. His layup is good. Count the basket and the foul. Keve Aluma with 22 points to lead all scores.
And he gets the drive inside to Sam Hauser, the other forward who's in a little bit of foul trouble as well. He now has 3 personal.
Aluma, who sat out last year, transferring in from Wofford. The free throw is there. Converts the old-fashioned three-point play. In Virginia Tech, the 20th-ranked Hokies have a 52-47 lead over their rival, the 8th-ranked Virginia Cavaliers. Clark goes all the way to the basket. He's denied. Shot blocked by none other than Keve Aluma. And Beatty brings the ball over the floor, slows things down with 6:05 to play. 5-point Hokie lead. Beatty on the right wing, picks up his dribble, puts it on the deck, right block Aluma, sidestep, fades away, Aluma knocks it down. The one-hand jumper, timeout, Tony Bennett and Virginia. The Hokies have not beaten the Cavaliers on their home floor since February 12, 2017. They lead 54-47. What a game between two top 20 teams. We'll pause for a timeout. We'll be back in just a moment from Cassell Coliseum. You're listening to 3304 Sports coverage of ACC men's basketball. Welcome back to Cassell Coliseum. 5:56 left to play. A top 20 matchup. 2 rivals that have been playing for over 100 years. Number 20, Virginia Tech leads number 8, Virginia, 54-47. Andy, a 10-0 run for the Hokies over the last 2.5 minutes. How have they been able to do it?
Well, it's been the ability of everyone else stepping up and playing their best basketball right now, Evan. UVA was set into, let's double team Aluma and put the pressure on him. But now the shooters on the outside have found they have opportunities to take advantage of the separation. They've been knocking them down, so UVA's had to struggle to try to stop Aluma and the outside shooting. It's been too much for Tony Bennett and his team.
Kihei Clark brings the ball up for Virginia alongside Hauser, Morsell, Murphy III, and Huff. Huff straight away playing with 4 fouls. Swings for Morsell right wing, flings it up top for Clark. He directs traffic, picks up his dribble, dumps it off Murphy III, swings it back right wing for Clark. He's got a lane to the rack, and he misses the layup. Wide open layup for Kihei Clark. He could not finish at the rim.
After doing so well in that first half, Kihei Clark has not been the same in the second, Evan.
Aluma swings top of the key for Mutz, bounce pass right wing, Aline swings it up top, Aluma, dribble handoff Couture, fires a pass left wing for Mutz, drops it down low, pump fake Aluma, his second attempt is good. Keve Aluma, a new career high, 27 points. 56-47, 5:10 to play, the largest lead of the game for Virginia Tech. Clark dribbles at the right hip, flings it right wing Hauser, dumps it back out for Clark. Dribbles with the left, dribbles to the free throw line, and a reach-in foul is called with 4:52 to play. Virginia has not scored a field goal since the 8:25 mark. They've almost gone 4 minutes without a point. Morcell to inbound right in front of Coach Tony Bennett. Cavaliers working right to left. Clark guarded by Beatty. Dribbles with the right. Now dribbles with the left, dribbles to the left elbow, and a reaching foul called on Wabisa Beatty as he jumps up and down in the air, knowing he just was a little too aggressive.
Yeah, and that's 2 quick fouls on Wabisa Beatty. He just picked up the 3rd earlier in this possession, and now he has his 4th. So no one's coming to the table yet for Mike Young and the team, but Beatty now with about 5 minutes left with 4 fouls on the court.
Clark inbounds to Hauser playing with 4 fouls. Stands at the left elbow, flings it up top. Clark, 13 to shoot, pulls up for 3. Kihei Clark off the back iron, long rebound, Murphy the 3rd, and a fresh shot clock for UVA. Clark stands at the Carillion Clinic court logo. 13 to shoot. Clark drives with the left, kicks out Hauser, left wing 3. Misses off the back rim, rebound Justin Mutz. He finds Beatty. The confidence from Mike Young playing Wabisa Beatty with 4 personal fouls. Dumps it off Aluma, bounce past Mutz, top of the key, swings the lean right wing. Now back up top Aluma, dribble handoff, Couture for 3, swish! Hunter Couture buries the 3. It's a double-digit lead for Virginia Tech, 59-47. The Cavaliers trail by 12, 3:45 to play. Clark dribbles with the left to the left block. His layup is denied. Aluma swats it away. Corralled by Beatty. It's been all Hokies over the last 5 minutes. Mutz finds a lean right wing, swings up top Aluma with 27 points and a foul away from the ball. Morcell pushed Hunter Couture. And that'll take us to the under 4 media timeout. Virginia Tech, who once trailed by as many as 10 points in the second half, have gone on a 15-0 run, and they lead the 8th-ranked Cavaliers 59-47 with 3:28 left. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment. You're listening to 3304 Sports coverage of ACC men's basketball. 3 minutes and 28 seconds remain. The Commonwealth clash, Virginia Tech and Virginia inside the top 20. Virginia led for the majority of this game, with the 20th ranked Hokies on a 15-0 run. Andy, they've outscored Virginia 38-18 in the second half. It's been the complete opposite this half for Virginia Tech compared to the first half.
Yeah, this might be the best stretch of time we've seen the Virginia Tech Hokies this entire season, Evan. Their backs are against the wall. They were without their second leading scorer in this game, Tyrese Radford, and they were struggling offensively. How are you going to start going offensively in this game? Well, Keve Aluma. Remember what I told you at the halftime, that the next leading scorer behind Aluma had 2 points? Now Couture has 13. You have Wabisa Beatty with 7. Jalen Cohn stepping up with 6. The offense still works around Aluma, but now you've seen some of the sophomores on this team start to step up, and that's just what you need. You need younger players to come out in the backcourt, did its job, and now they have a comfortable lead, and they just have to play smart basketball here, and they have themselves a win against the Virginia Cavaliers.
Virginia has not scored since just over the 8-minute mark. There's 3:26 left for Tony Bennett, Kihei Clark, Reese Beekman, Sam Hauser, Casey Morcell, and Trey Murphy III on the floor for Virginia Tech. Hunter Couture, who's at the free throw line, Naheem Aline, Jalen Cohn, Keve Aluma, and Justin Mutz. What a second half for Hunter Couture. Had only 2 points at halftime. Now he has 13, as Andy just mentioned a moment ago. He's buried 3 threes today. First free throw for the sophomore, hits the front rim and bounces in. 13-point lead for the Hokies. Hunter Couture recruited to play at Wofford. And when Mike Young got the job at Virginia Tech, the first call he made was to Couture. Second free throw, swish. He converts at the charity stripe. 61-47. The 20th ranked Hokies lead the 8th ranked Cavaliers, looking for their first win in Cassell against UVA since 2017. Bounce pass, left corner, Kihei Clark. He has not scored in the second half. Finds Walden Tensai on the left wing, picks up his dribble, puts it on the deck for Kihei Clark. Guarded by Couture, dribbles to the paint, the floater, off the front iron. Rebound Justin Mutz. 17-0 run for the Hokies. UVA hasn't scored since the 8:57 mark. Mutz fires a chest pass, Aline right corner, flings it down low, Aluma, his shot no good, but the putback dunk is there for Justin Mutz. The exclamation point in the second half, 19-0 run as the layup for Virginia and Beekman misses. Jalen Cone the rebound, a 19-0 run for Virginia Tech. This UVA team averages over 70 points per game. They have scored 47. Aluma, dribble handoff, Cone. Won't take the three, swings left wing, Mutz. He'll try a three, bricks it. And a rebound for Virginia, who's looking for something offensively. 2:16 to play. They trail 63-47. Clark the junior swings left wing, Murphy the third. Tries a three, misses off the back rim. Long rebound, Hauser. Saves it, flings it to Murphy the third, left wing. Under 2 minutes to play. Kihei Clark tries a straightaway three, missed it. Rebound, Hunter Couture, and Mike Young has both hands in the air for Virginia Tech, telling his sophomore guard to slow things down. Cone stands at the Curling Clinic Cork logo, dribbles with the left, straightaway, swings for a lean left wing. The Hokies look like they're in position to knock off their arch rival in what will be one of their biggest wins of the season. Couture with 4 to shoot at the Korean Clinic logo, dribbles to the right block, his layup, his dunk is not good as Hunter Couture flushed it with 2 hands, shot clock violation. And Wabisa Beatty on the bench jumping with both feet in the air. I mean, it's just been that kind of second half for Virginia Tech where everything is working, Andy. I mean, there's almost nothing Virginia can do right now.
I mean, even when Virginia Tech had a shot clock violation on Hunter Couture, they were just like, oh, man, what a bad break for us, because they haven't had one in a while. But 16-point lead with 1:28 left. Evan, this has been remarkable. This Virginia Tech team on this 19-0 run, this is the biggest win for Mike Young here at Virginia Tech, in my opinion. This is the best performance I've seen by a Mike Young team. 42 points against a Tony Bennett coached team in a half. Outstanding. And this was all because of their players starting to understand. Some of them got the green light, 7 to 10 from deep. You went to the free throw line, you knocked 7 to 8 free throws down the half. You're shooting 64% in the half as well. Everything's going for Virginia Tech, and nothing seems to go in the way of Virginia, who's shooting 7 to 25 from the field.
Cavaliers, again, have not scored since the 8:25 mark. Virginia Tech has outscored Virginia 42 to 18. The Cavaliers have not lost since December 26th. Beekman swings right wing. Morcell dribbles with the left at his hip, flings right wing. McCoy pulls up, buries it. Big shot there for UVA. Their first bucket in nearly 7 minutes. A minute left, 63-49. 20th ranked Virginia Tech leads 8th ranked Virginia. Couture just dribbles at midcourt, finds Aluma. They'll use all of the shot clock. Mutz straight away, swings it for a lean, bounce past Aluma. What a day he's had on the right block. Aluma backing down McCoy. He spins with 5. Aluma goes up with one hand, and it rattles out. 35 seconds left. On the left wing, Murphy the third. Dribbles in between his legs. Kicks out. Beekman swings up top. Step back three. Morcell off the mark. Foul on UVA. Virginia Tech possession with 23 seconds left.
You can hear the round of applause here at Cassell Coliseum, Evan. What a performance from the Virginia Tech Hokies, offensively and defensively. Everyone who's watching this game or listening to us across the nation, this Virginia Tech Hokies team really made a statement today to say they're one of the best in the ACC.
Aluma's first free throw is good. Career high hit for him at Virginia Tech at 28 points right now, 10 rebounds. Carried this team offensively in the first half. Second free throw, swish. 65-49. Gasson checks in for Aluma. He high-fives his coach. And the 250 in the stands know what's about to happen under the next 20 seconds. Beekman brings the ball up the floor, swings for Walden Tensai, pass back up top, and the layup, a foul on the way up as Trey Murphy, the third, an aggressive take inside. He'll head to the charity stripe for 2. This Virginia team led by as many as 10 points in this second half. Everything was working offensively, but Kihei Clark has not scored in the second half. Hauser with just 10, Huff with 13. He's been in foul trouble the majority of the second half. First free throw, Swish makes it a 15-point game. Virginia Tech, after this free throw, can dribble it out and put the exclamation point on the Commonwealth Clash. Second free throw is good. Mutz will inbound to Couture with 10 seconds left. No pressure from Virginia. Couture crosses over midcourt. The 20th ranked Virginia Tech Hokies have knocked off the 8th ranked Virginia Cavaliers inside of Cassell Coliseum. It's over in Blacksburg. Virginia Tech outscores Virginia 44-22 in the second half. They pick up their first win against UVA since 2017 here at home inside of Cassell Coliseum. In a game that looked like Virginia at one point might run away, Virginia Tech puts together one of their best halves of basketball under second-year coach Mike Young.
That is for sure, Evan. And definitely looking at this game, you thought at a point that Virginia was just going to have that moment where they were going to say, we're the better team and we're going to run out in this one. Virginia Tech did not allow that moment to happen. They stuck with Virginia from the start of the game, and they had their difficulties in this one. Getting used to the elements and playing against Virginia. It's a big-time rivalry. A lot of players on this Virginia Tech team are facing off against Virginia for the first time, and this one was especially taken away by Keve Aluma. I mean, you look at 2 players that were meant to go to Wofford, of Keve Aluma and Hunter Couture. Those are the difference makers today here for Virginia Tech, and this is the reason why they've gotten this big-time win and have the best start in ACC play of all time.
Virginia Tech snaps Virginia's 7-game winning streak. They snap their 15-game ACC winning streak going back to last year. What a win for Virginia Tech, and we'll break down the entire game in just a moment. We step aside when we come back. The 3304 Sports post-game show. Your final score, 20th ranked Virginia Tech 65, 8th ranked Virginia 51. You're listening to 3304 Sports coverage of ACC men's basketball.
Hello, welcome back here to Cassell Coliseum, where the final score between the number 8th ranked Virginia Cavaliers and the number 20th ranked Virginia Tech Hokies goes in the way of the home team, as the Hokies beat the Cavaliers 65-61. It was a phenomenal second half performance from Virginia Tech, doubling the points that UVA put up, 44-22 in the first half. You saw a little bit of Virginia having a better edge of things, especially from behind the arc, shooting 47%, 7-15 shooting. In the second half, that quickly turned into the Hokies' favor, where they shot 7-10 from behind the arc and held the Cavaliers to 8 of 27 shooting from the field. I'm joined alongside with Evan Hughes. And Evan, I said it coming into this game that this was probably one of the biggest games that Mike Young has ever played in or coached in here at Virginia Tech. Do you think he got the biggest win as a Virginia Tech men's head coach today?
Well, there's been a couple of big ones, right? You start in Maui of last year with a win over Michigan State. Earlier in the season, a win against Villanova, who's one of the best teams in the country. But this Virginia team was really starting to flex themselves as one of the best in the conference. They've won 15 in a row in the ACC. Dating back to last year, 7-0 start in league play. They had a big win against Syracuse, and Virginia Tech holds Virginia to the least amount of points scored this year in any game for the Cavaliers. We're going to talk a lot about the offense here, and rightfully so, in this post-game show. But I think maybe the biggest story of this entire game was the defense that Virginia Tech did on this potent UVA team. They end the game on a 21-4 run dating back to the 8:25 mark. Simply incredible. I think it's one of the best halves that Mike Young has had in his tenure here at Virginia Tech. And, we're sitting there thinking, gosh, what more can UVA do? And I think sometimes, Andy, all the momentum is just with one team. There's only so much that you can do, and everybody just started to step up. Keve Aluma scored 16 of the 21 in the first half. The Hokies finally got some offensive help in a big way in the second half.
That's exactly the point. Hunter Couture, 15 points as well. Majority of those came in this second half. And you talk about Kevin Luma with the 29 as well. Jalen Cone was able to knock down 2 3-pointers. Shot 33% from behind the arc. Not the numbers he usually puts up, but still 2 big 3-pointers to really shift the momentum. His baskets really got this run going for Virginia Tech. And you mentioned the defense of what Virginia Tech was able to do. Offense of the Virginia Cavaliers, which puts about 73.5 points per game, resulted to 51. At a point, their players reached double figures. Jay Huff was at 13, Kihei Clark was at 11, Sam Hauser went to 10, but then it stopped. It almost as if just came to a halt. And every shot that Virginia was putting up was short. It was off the money, and Virginia Tech was getting the rebounds. They were doing their job not to give them second chance opportunities. So is Virginia Tech, after this game, you talk about, like, is this a more defensively sound team than offensively sound?
I think it's up for debate right now, and I honestly think in the first half when they scored 21 points, you could make the argument it was the defense. But then when everybody starts collectively working offensively for Virginia Tech, I think the argument can be made it's the offensive side, and it's easy to say that when you score 44 second-half points. But, Andy, you look at this Virginia team, coming in, again, they'd scored 81 points against Syracuse in that 2-3 zone last time out, and you look at the numbers here in this box score, it's simply incredible that Jay Huff, just 13 points. He got into foul trouble. He had 3 personal fouls midway through the second half. 10 points for Sam Hauser, who buried 7 threes against Syracuse. He finishes with his 2 today. And then Kihei Clark had 11 first-half points. He didn't score in the second half. So for Virginia, really, it was, again, the complete opposite. Virginia Tech couldn't get any contributions in the first half besides Luma. Everyone was scoring for UVA, especially Clark in the first half. And then it flipped where nobody was scoring for UVA in that second half. So it's amazing. This game, to me, was really a tale of 2 halves for both teams.
Let's take an opportunity to look a little bit ahead into the schedule for both teams right here. Virginia Tech, they got a couple of road games coming up now at Pittsburgh and at Miami next week, followed by 2 home games against very good teams, the Florida State Seminoles and the Louisville Cardinals, following up by a road game at North Carolina. Virginia, they got a bouncing back and forth road game against NC State, home game against Louisville, road at Georgia Tech, and home against North Carolina, followed by a road game at Florida State. So, Evan, looking ahead, we can see that there's going to be some tough games coming up for both teams right now. So, what's the message for Virginia Tech after this win, and what's the message you would give to Virginia after this loss?
Well, let's start with Virginia. I think the message is there were, up until about that 12-minute mark in the second half, there was so much good to take away from this game for Tony Bennett. I think sometimes, too, you look at the tape, but sometimes coaches say, you know what, we got to put that one behind us. And if there's anybody in the country who is so good at that, it's Tony Bennett. Look no further than the loss to UMBC a couple of years ago, right? Nobody in the country could have handled that better, in my opinion, than Tony Bennett being able to turn that negative experience into a positive for his team. And they've got a road game, as you mentioned, coming up with North Carolina State, and then Louisville. Georgia Tech tonight pulled up a big upset over Florida State. This Virginia team is going to be just fine. They have the potential to win a national championship and defend their crown. And for Virginia Tech, I think the message is going to be this for Mike Young. He is from Radford. He is from Southwest Virginia. He wants to celebrate this one tonight, but they can't let this one get to their heads. I think that the message is they've got to keep the foot on the pedal, so to speak. They can't let up because, the upcoming schedule for Virginia Tech, it is going to be difficult. You've got games coming up against you still have a game against Louisville. You've got games against Florida State, North Carolina. This is going to be a really difficult stretch coming up without Tyrese Radford. But that's one of the big takeaways tonight. You lose your second leading scorer. You come away with a win at Notre Dame and a win against the 8th-ranked team in the country. Both of these teams are going to be just fine, and there is going to be an added element of excitement the next time these two teams play in John Paul Jones later this year.
Well, that's going to do it here from Cassell Coliseum. The Virginia Tech Hokies defeat the Virginia Cavaliers 65-51. That brings us to an end of our top 20 matchup here from Blacksburg. It was an excellent Commonwealth clash. Another one added into the Virginia Tech win column. They now move to 31-23 in matchups taking place in Blacksburg and 17-9 in this very building. Well, that's going to do it here. I'm Andy Loce, joined alongside with Evan Hughes. Thank you so much for tuning into this broadcast. The Virginia Tech Hokies 65, Virginia 51. Have a great night, everybody.